everyone, welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Anika and this is Let's InDesign. I'm really excited. It's 2023 and another new episode of Let's InDesign. We are back with a bang. It's 2023 and I'm going to make a calendar and a planner design. I want to say hi to everyone before I get started. Hi to Paco in the chat. Hey Paco, we have Wade in the chat, Val in the chat, Susan. Hey, hello Oliver. Thank you so much for joining. If you are just joining us, I am live both on YouTube and Behance. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, here's the link. Go ahead and subscribe. You can watch all the past episodes on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining. I don't know if you all have ever created a calendar design, but if you haven't, you can actually create it with me today. So fire up that InDesign on your machine and let's dive into it. Let's see what I have in store for you. And I want to point out to this link right over here. Right over here. You can share your work with me. We have a call to action because we love all of that over here. So if you have ever created anything inspired by Let's InDesign, please share your work with me on Instagram. Tag me and Adobe Live so that we can share your work. We can share the community's work with everybody here on Adobe Live at the end of the stream. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled over here for my chat. So if you have any questions for me during the live stream, make sure to put them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer. All right, let's dive into it. I'm gonna switch over to my screen really quickly, right over here. Let me know if you can see me and hear the screen. Hear the screen. Yes, hear the screen. Okay. All right. So here's the Learn tab for Let's InDesign, but I also have the Home that I'm not going to show you because personal projects. But if you've ever been on InDesign, this is how the Learn tab looks like. You can go ahead and click on any of these links to understand any, like if you have just one simple content that you want to learn, you can go ahead and learn that single piece of content with like just a very uh con- wow, I am at a loss of words today. All right, let's start over. Let's create a new file, okay? Because we're creating a new document. We're gonna create an A4 or a letter size depending on whatever your printer has at your home, because we are making this super accessible for you all. So whatever paper size you have at your house, make sure to use that size. And I know some of us use the US letter size, some of us use the A4 size. So whatever's convenient to you, use that paper size. For our purposes, it's gonna be for print. So make sure to go to the print tab right over here. And I'm actually gonna use a letter size. And then the basics, we're gonna go to the units and change that to inches. And perhaps because we're making like a table calendar first, I'm gonna put in a landscape orientation. Unfortunately, I do not have a physical calendar to show you today. It did not get here in time, but we have the landscape version right here. I'm gonna turn the facing pages off because if you've ever seen a table calendar before, you turn the pages back, so there are no facing pages, right? I'm gonna make these 13 pages for now. Actually, maybe 14 because 12 months and the front and the back cover. And let's actually keep the bleed here as well. So if you click on the preview button right over here, that's going to show you how it looks. And this is how my design looks like. Love it. Okay. I am going to click on create and see what comes up. So as you can see, there are a lot of pages here, and we have a parent page, which is by default. If you're wondering what workspace I'm in, I am in my own custom workspace. It's called Anika. But if you are confused and using InDesign for the first time, you can essentially go to the advanced workspace or even go to a digital publishing workspace if you want to publish it to your web. Use this on your Etsy shop perhaps as a template. You can sell it as a design as well. Okay, if you have any questions, again, make sure to drop them in the chat. All right, I am here and just checking if everything is fine. All right, everything looks good. So I'm gonna continue on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to start with tables. I have never covered tables in InDesign before, so I'm really excited to start with it. Let me know if you guys have ever used tables in InDesign. I know we've all learned about paragraph styles in all the, I think we've done 11 episodes up until now. So we've learned about paragraph styles, but never about tables. So why don't we go ahead and start with my parent page right over here and create a table in here. So I'm in the A parent page and I'm going to go to table and go to create table. Now, why am I creating a table? I don't know if you've ever seen a calendar, but it's essentially a table which has numbers all over it, right? So, okay, so let's see here. We want the body rows. Okay, I think six should be fine, and we want like seven columns because for the days of the week, and maybe like one header. I think this looks okay. I'll actually turn down the body rows to five. These table dimensions are essentially how your table will look like, how many rows it's gonna have, how many columns it's gonna have, and if you want a header or not. You can create cell styles within InDesign, so you can customize your header in a different way and your rows or other table cells in a different manner, right? So this is gonna have the basic table style, which is essentially the default. I'm gonna zoom out real quick, click on OK, and we have this cursor right over here, which is essentially, if you see my cursor, it's filled with the table, right? What I want to do is drag it out. So I have this pointer right here, and I want to drag it out just like so. Okay, let's see here. All right, everything looks good. So we have this table. We looked at seven columns, which is what we created, six rows, including the header. All right. I'm gonna look at the chat real quick. I know chat is really popping by, so I'm gonna look at chat just a second and see if there are any questions. Clever says tables are much better in design now that they were long and for a long time. Yeah, they are much better now. Oliver says a table with numbers all over it. Yeah, that's what calendar is. I mean, let's simplify everything because we're all about that over here. Okay. Love it. Steve in the chat says, it's been a long time, but Steve has actually done the table in InDesign. That's amazing. Yeah, I love when chat has actually had worked with something that I'm demonstrating here because that just like elevates the whole experience. And then if you guys have any inputs or if there's like, because there's like always 10 different ways to do the same thing, it's always fun to see what another creative works like in the same manner. Okay, so what I want to do is go to text and actually add the name of the day here. So let's say this is Sunday. So I'm going to add this and then I'm going to add Monday. I'm actually going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm typing here. Wednesday, Thursday. I'm sure you all know what days of the week are. Um, and we have that here and then we have Saturday. Okay. Let's see, we have everything here. All right, cool. But this is too tiny and I want it to be formatted in a way that it's visible. So why don't we go ahead and create a style? So what I'm going to do is actually create a paragraph style for this. So I don't need to actually select the text here. And this is basically the first step that I'm doing just because I want the same paragraph style for every single element that I add in this row. So I'm going to keep my cursor here in between these lines, or you can actually select this text here as well. And then I'm gonna go in here and add like a text. Let's see. I want something like very, I think I want a sans serif font. So I'm gonna go ahead and filter it from my Adobe Fonts integration right over here. Maybe something like this might work. And then I'm gonna increase the point size to 24. Okay, love it. I think this is neat. And then I want to go ahead and go to my cell style. Now, how do I add a cell style? If you go to your window option and go to styles, in this drop down menu, you can see a cell styles right over here. If I click on it, it opens up this tab. Now, in this tab, right now, there are no styles at all. So, how do I go about making a new cell style? I can go ahead and click on this plus icon right here and it says create new style. If I do that, automatically it's called cell style 1 by default. So what I can do is I can double click and that's going to open my cell style options. So I know chat is really interested. So yeah, let me know if you've ever created any cell style options. Okay, so I'm gonna call this a header row option, and that's gonna be the style for my first row, which is gonna contain all the names of the week. Okay, let's see what else is here. We have location, style, info. It is based on no style at all because we don't have any other existing styles right here. We have a shortcut that we can use. We can add a paragraph style. I did not create a paragraph style yet. I should have. I actually did edit the text but forgot to create the style, but that's totally okay. I am going to graphic. I don't think I want any cell insets right here. And if I go to strokes and fills, I think this is a really nice way to incorporate color into your design. So I can go ahead and actually add like a 3 point stroke. And as I do it, you can see right over here, as I increase or decrease the weight, you can see the cell stroke weight is increasing and decreasing in real time. And I really love that you can see all of that. You can also change the color. So maybe I take like a blue color here and maybe add like a tint to it. So maybe it's like a 50% tint. Okay, let's see how that looks like, and then we can always change it. The beauty of using cell styles is that it's similar to paragraph styles because they're always editable and nothing is non-destructive. So using cell styles is something that you can use for your whole table, multiple tables. It's easily scalable and it is non-destructive. I think that's what I usually love. Usually, always love about cell styles. Do I want a self fill? Let's see if I want a self fill. Maybe I do want a self fill. And then because this is like too dark, it's a vibratory color over my text. Maybe I can just do 5% of the tint, and that's gonna help me. Yeah, I think I like that. Actually, let's make it paper so that we can actually not see the outline, but it's actually there. All right, and then I'm gonna click OK, and this is what it looks like. Now comes the application of the cell style. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all of these cells and select header row. And if I click out of it, all of the style is applied to all of the cells in the first row. But the paragraph style is not applied because I did not create a paragraph style. So let's go ahead and create a paragraph style. We're going to click on this guy, which is the plus button right here in the paragraph style. And let's call this days of the week. I don't know. Does that work? Yeah. Also, meanwhile, while I am creating this, I don't know if you guys have ever thought about creating a calendar out of your artwork. So, I mean, I think it would be like a real cool idea to make a calendar out of your artwork. If you guys have any themes for me for 2023, let me know. I can use an Adobe Stock asset for now and then create a theme, a calendar. Okay, let's go here and change the paragraph style options. What I want to do is, I think maybe I want to change some of the colors. I think this is good. Maybe I want to change the color to blue so that it complements the background well. I'm gonna turn the hyphenation off. It's not gonna make a difference here, but I still want to turn it off. Indents and spacing, I think it should be fine. Maybe I'll keep it to be 0, and that's it. I also want to do one more thing. I actually am gonna select all of these, and then I'm actually gonna apply the same paragraph style to it. So this is days of the week. This is also days of the week, and so on and so forth. So once you apply the paragraph style to it, it's automatically gonna apply the same style irrespective of where the text exists, right? So that's amazing because we really don't we really live for the consistency over here. Okay, and there is no margin in here, so I want to go ahead to this cell style and maybe add like a margin on the side. Maybe I want to add it to like align center. Yeah, I guess this is okay. And then I can go in here and maybe do like a right align, or maybe like a center line should be okay. Yeah, and then I can select all of these and do like a center line to the paragraphs. All right, there you go. I think it's looking and coming together really nicely. Before we move on further, I want to move this a little bit further down, and we have our table ready. Now we want to populate it with numbers, and we also want to add like a text here which says, hey, this is 2023 and this is the month we're in. I am still in the parent page, so if I go to my pages tab, I can see that I'm in the parent page, right? And it's being applied to all the pages. So one, two, three, everything has the same page over here, which calls for consistency, right? That's why parent pages are amazing. But I am going to go ahead and add like a text option here and say 20, and maybe add like the same text here. I think I want to change the style a little bit. So maybe I want to add it, maybe I want to make it like a bigger size. Let's do a 60 and see how big that looks. And okay, and then I want to bring it down and call it 2023. I think these are a little too big, so I'm going to size that down just like a little bit. Let's do 48. I think that's still too small. Still too big. That's what I meant. Okay. Let's delete this guy. I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm going to bring this here. Okay. 2023. All right. I'm going to press W for overprint view and see how it looks. Okay, so it looks terrible right now, but let's go ahead and add the numbers so that we can actually get the backbone and the spine of the system out and then add the formatting. So let's go ahead and maybe write, add bullet points in here. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So the easiest way to add numbering to your tables is essentially adding numbers to the cells, right? So what I can do is double click inside the cell over here. I'm sorry, I was not in the parent page. I'm going to double click inside the cell over here, and you can see this blinking cursor right here, which is going to help you create the numbers for the whole layout. How you can do that is you can go to your um, navigation panel up top, and you can go ahead and go to type. Where is type? And then you can go to bulleted and numbered list, and go to apply numbers. What this is going to do is, since you have that cell selected, you can go ahead, you will actually essentially apply a number, right? So if I do that, it's going to do that to the whole cell. And as soon as I press spacebar on my keyboard, it's going to give me this number. And that's how bulleting and numbered lists work. As soon as you press enter or a return key or an action, it inserts a number for it. So as soon as I pressed spacebar, it entered this icon. And how standard bulleted and numbered lists work is essentially having the number, the dot, and a space, and then you type in whatever the list contains. So it can be an ordered or an unordered list. Since we have this, I think essentially I don't want a dot in here or either a space bar. So why don't we go ahead to our bulleted and numbered numbering list options, and we can change all of that. So we have this guy right here, and it says this list type is called numbers. We have the default style in here. We have the number format, which is exactly what we wanted, because a table with numbers and we want 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the number format right in here as well. And I just explained how I don't want the dot and the space bar. So if I zoom in and show you, this caret and the hashtag or the pound character is essentially the number, and that's going to be replaced by the number format that I have selected up top. And the dot and the space bar after that is what I don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and hit backspace on this, and voila, as soon as I do that and click on preview, it's going to remove everything we had here. Okay. And I'm going to click OK and click out of it. Now, as soon as I apply the same style everywhere, it's going to essentially do the same thing, right? So why don't we go ahead and copy this and paste it here? Oh, wait, what? Hold on. Val says this is such a helpful tip. Clever says, and I can save as a new document and configure styles for a new layout. Love it. Val in the chat says, I'm guilty of numbering cells and pages manually. Would not recommend. Yeah, I always do that. Let's just be honest here. Okay. All right. And so I have this guy, and I want to go to edit and copy. And then I want to go here, and I think I want to select all of these and go to edit and paste. And voila, we have all the numbers in here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I can do that to the whole table now. And I can just go to edit and paste, and we have the whole calendar in here. Now, of course, there are more than 28 days in January, so why don't we extend the calendar just like so? And we have another row right here. Now, how did I know that the extension was possible? This over here is a button for overset text, and that helped me understand that there it was possible. So I can just extend it just a little bit, and maybe I can select this again and click on paste. Now, why did I do the copy and paste? That was essential because I was using a space bar as a way to insert the numbering options that I made. So now we have a problem. I do not want 32, 33, 34, and 35. How do I fix that? As simple as using the backspace on your keyboard, you can essentially just delete it. So I'm gonna hit my calendar on my machine and see what comes up. And I'm gonna just check what was the first day. It was a Sunday, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it like so. Wow, this is a coincidence. I did not plan it like this. But I can go ahead and click the backspace button, and that's gonna change the numbering right over here as well. So I'm going to zoom in just like a little bit so you guys can see. And if I hit backspace over here as well, it's going to delete everything. It's going to change the auto numbering. But I want to delete all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And voila, we have the first month ready. Now I'm doing this on a parent page, so don't be like me. Don't do this on the parent page, but that's totally fine. We can fix it in the actual pages in the document by overriding the parent page element, which you're going to look at in just a second. Okay, so we have this, and now I'm going to go ahead and create another cell style. So I'm going to go to cell styles again, but this time I'm going to create a cell style for the dates. So let's click on the plus button and double click this guy and say dates. Okay, I don't know, I'd change anything. So I'm going to come back in. Maybe I want to change the graphic. The align should be, maybe I'll do a center align. Go back to strokes and fills. Um, and go here. Maybe I'll change the weight a little bit. Make it to be paper again and change the color. This time I'm gonna go a tint which is like 5% and see how that looks like. Okay, and then I want to apply it to this guy. So let's see. Okay, it's the same tint. Oh, I forgot about that. All right, maybe I'll choose like a different color here. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose a different color. So in this guy, I will probably choose like a paper. Okay. Yeah, I think this is better. And Clever in the chat says I manually number pages, but I also make crazy layouts that shift. Auto numbering makes me crazy. Yeah, sometimes it's convenient, but other times it cannot be so convenient. So like as make it work for you. There are a number of ways to do the same thing. I always say make it work for you and you not work for it, you know? Just profound things over here on Adobe Live by me. All right, so this is how it looks like, and I still want to continue editing the text in here. So what I'm gonna do is select this guy and maybe apply the same style or something. So I am gonna go here and see what paragraph style I had. It was days of the week, and I don't want that. So why don't we go ahead and add like a different paragraph style here, and I'm gonna call it dates, and then I can go ahead inside the style and change the text, the font family. So I'm just gonna use regular. It's the basic font family that I use, a size 18, perhaps like a semi bold. And I'm gonna leave the character color to be the default. Okay. Maybe I want it to be like a little bit bigger as well. All right, dates, and we have size maybe as 24 points. All right, I think this is looking well. And then maybe I can apply it to everything. Can I do that? Oh, I can't do that. I'll have to do it manually. Should have done that earlier. That's why you do the paragraph styles earlier. And essentially, I'm going to try something here. Maybe I can just select the dates paragraph style and that's going to fix it. So if you forgot to create the paragraph style before chat, it's always a learning experience. If you forgot to create the paragraph style before you created the cell style, you can go ahead to the cell style and get that paragraph style within the cell. So all the cells having that cell style applied to it can also have the same paragraph style. And once you click on OK, every single cell that had the dates paragraph style applied to it has the same paragraph style. Wait, what? I hope you get it. I hope that makes sense. But we have this, and I think this is looking really nice. It's a little bit better than what it was earlier. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and double click into it and change the alignment of the text. I think I want it align center is fine. Yeah, I think this is fine. And then I can go in here and maybe I'm gonna go to dates, and I think I want to just change the alignment of these guys. I can go in here and change the alignment to right aligned. Okay, yeah, I kind of like this. And I also want to change the style for this. So I can just go here and make it all caps. This is really handy. I think other than typing things out over and over again, just having that option within the tool that you're using is really helpful because you don't have to type it out over and over again. We don't want that. Okay, so let's just go to pages and we have all of these and everything has January applied to it, right? I don't want that and I want to change that, which I will do in just a second. Let me go here and paste this guy right over here. Before we do that, let me actually bring in some artwork so we can actually add it in here. All right, give me a sec. How do I switch my screen? Okay, so I'm gonna bring in some artwork that I got from Adobe Stock earlier. Let's see here, and I can essentially bring in some more stuff. So since we did create paragraph style and I did cover the basics, I want to cover like how to create a planner design as well. So what I'm going to do is bring like an artwork right here. I'm just copy pasting from my old design. So we have it right here. So this is how it looks like. I can go ahead and bring my artwork right here. Um, so we have 2023. This is where the month can go, and this is the artwork. Maybe I can size it down just like so, just a little bit. Okay, yeah. And then I can bring the heart over here. Maybe this looks good. I'm gonna press overprint view just to see how that looks. And this is looking nice. Now the colors are looking stupid because the calendar is a different color rather than all the other options that I have in here. So what I can do is I can go ahead into my paragraph style and go to days of the week. Now, as you know, InDesign automatically creates swatches for you for whatever you have in your document. So I'm gonna go ahead to my character color and then go ahead and select the color. Now I'm a very aware that this is RGB, but I'm gonna convert these colors later, so don't at me in the chat. Um, Val says this is so cute. Thank you, Val. I appreciate it. Yeah. So we have this right here. I think the table is too big for the size, so I'm gonna add some negative space because that's really important in any kind of design. So I'm gonna go ahead and you see this arrow right over here. If I just use this arrow, it's only going to change the sizing of the last row. But what if I want to change the sizing of the whole table, right? I'm going to hold shift and then I'm going to use it. And as you can see, I can scale it up and down as much as I want. So I can scale it down just like so. And I can scale the size of the columns just a little bit as well. Okay, I think this is looking cute. And then I can go ahead and bring it in the center of the page. All right, it's looking really nice. I love how this is coming out to be. Let me go ahead and actually save this file because I saw from the corner of my eye that Clever said that I haven't saved my file yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and save my file. Thank you, Clever. I'm just gonna save my file. Okay. All right. So we have this. Don't forget to save your file, folks, if you are working along with me. We have 2023 and month, and I just size it down, and so we have January. And now we can go in here, and if I wanna change the file, the override the parent elements, I can Command Shift click. Actually, let me do one thing really quick. 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna undo. So now you can see the keystrokes that I press on my keyboard. If I press Command Shift and hold it and then click on a parent page element, I can actually override the element. And then I can go in here and change the name of the month. And you can see it's different over here because this was the parent page element. So I can go in here and say February and then so on and so forth for every month that I add. So I'm going to do that really quickly and then I'm going to show you how it looks in just a second. Okay. So this part is a little bit manual, but just because we created a layout, we don't have to do any of this. January, February, March, April. We have actually let's actually not apply this to this, and then I'm gonna change it again. Sorry, because I wanted to create like a cover on the first page. Oh, this is a lot of work. Okay, February, and then we have March right here. I'm gonna do this super quickly. April. I'm gonna look at chat. Oliver says Anika hasn't saved. Clever says you can also make the days row a different size, then highlight and right click the other rows and distribute rows evenly. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was just gonna do that. Um, okay. So Val says I was just going to ask if things are done on the parent page, how can you override since the days won't be in the same cells for each month? Right. Okay. So let's do that. This is how I'm overriding the names of the month, right? So we have January. Where is January? January, February, March, April, May. Now the alignment is different because in this case I should have essentially made it to be, if I go to my frame options, in my text frame options I can create auto sizing, which is going to help me change only the size of the frame towards the left. So anything you add, any text element you add, it's only going to scale towards the left. So if I select this guy, it's gonna keep the height and width proportions, and I'm gonna click OK. And now if I add anything, it's only gonna add it to the left. Let's see over here, April. Let's try with this guy. So I'm gonna override it and say May, and it's only gonna add it to the left. Okay, and then what I wanted was to the right, so we can fix that later. Go to Command B options and go to auto size, and this is what we want because you want it to grow towards the left. Okay, let's see here, May, June. Okay, let's try it with this one. And then we have June. Oh, that's weird that it's not doing it. That's so weird. Okay, we'll come back to that. But since Val mentioned that we were changing the days of the month, it's different for every month. And now one is going to start at Wednesday for February. So I can again press Shift Command and click on the table. Now I can override the table elements only for this page and not the parent page. And I am not affecting any other page in the document. So I can just go ahead and click delete for this guy right here, and it's going to shift my elements from here. And we knew that it was starting on Wednesday because January 31st is on Tuesday. So as soon as I did this, it shifted everything towards the right as soon as I deleted everything. And this is how you override all the elements in your design. So we have February, and then we have March. And if we scroll up a little bit, we have 28th February this year, and then Wednesday again is 1st of March. So again, I'm going to press Shift Command and click, and that's going to make this table active. And then I can go ahead and delete this element. So once you have done, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Once you have done all of these styles for this, it's going to make first of March as Wednesday again. And then I can go ahead and add space bars to add more elements because March has 31 days. Okay, so I hope that answers your question well, and this way you can actually access and change the size of your elements. Now let's go ahead and fix that auto sizing issue that we were having. So I'm going to press Command B again and see what comes up. So I want to keep, I want to auto size the height and width, and I want to size it towards the left. Yeah, this should work. I don't know why this is not working. That's so weird. Um, let's actually apply this again. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say April. Oh, is it because of the alignment to the text? Oh, that might be. That might be it. Okay, let's go here. And then I'm gonna change the alignment. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I can change the alignment of the paragraph style to right. And I think this will fix it. Okay, let's go back to April and then apply the parent page again. And now I'm going to override this and go to April. There you go. So anytime that I am applying any page, um, editing any elements, no matter how big the character size is, it's only going to add it towards the left. It's not going to add it towards the right. And since the element, like, let's add a bigger month here. Let's say like we adding December, which is like probably more number of characters. June, July, August, September. Let's do September and see what happens, because this space is possibly lesser, so the frame size will automatically resize. There you go. So it happens dynamically, and voila, that is how you can resize your text frame options, and your text frame will automatically resize itself towards the left and nowhere else. All right. So once you work on all of this design, you will have your calendar for your whole thing, and maybe you can make this smaller and make like a binding on top and have it printed out from someone else, or have make your own binding, make a stitch binding, make a saddle stitch on it. But we also want a cover page, so I'm quickly gonna go ahead and show you how that cover page looks like. So why don't we go ahead and do a cooking show magic right over here, and this is how the actual calendar is going to look like. So once you do all of the edits, this is how you can create a 2023 calendar. This is an Adobe Stock illustration I used. I can send a link in chat later. I edited some colors. It was a licensed asset. I could edit the colors, so make sure to think about what licenses to use and what is permitted for that license. And then I've obviously marked these because I wanted you all to know when my InDesign streams are. So we have one stream today, which is the 9th, and we have the next stream on the 23rd of January. So mark your calendars. We have another one coming up in like 2 weeks' time. And then we have February. It's essentially the same layout. We actually just created this. So if I go to my pages file, that's exactly what we created. So it's a little bit different. Like the colors are a little bit different. The text may be a little bit different. But we have another stream on the 6th of February coming up, and that's all for the first quarter. So I just wanted you guys to know that these are my streams. So mark your calendars because it's calendar design, and it was very fitting. I did want to do that. I planned this. Okay. We have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's how it works, right? And then you can go ahead to make it more or less as much as you want. You can customize it endlessly, and that's how you can get your calendar design. But we are not finished yet. We want to make a planner out of your calendar, right? I know Umakon in chat. Fergie is in chat. Hey, Fergie, how's it going? Fergie says, "Myths the start, but is there a clever way to pull in the dates or is it manual?" I actually did show it. We were using tables and cell styles to create a numbered list within the table, and that's how we essentially joined it. Thank you so much, anyone who's just joining us. I know we are at the halfway mark. So if you are just joining us or on YouTube or on Behance, I just demonstrated how to create this calendar in InDesign. I used table styles, created paragraph styles, changed color. We talked about auto resizing. We talked about alignment and all of the fun stuff. And we also talked about marking your calendars for all the Let's InDesign streams this month, which is up on the screen right now. So, Ryan, hey, Ryan is in the chat. Ryan says we need a little animation for your trademark cooking show magic. Yeah, we do. I know who I'm going to contact for that. Thanks, Ryan. Love it. Okay. So we have these calendar designs here, but I think I am super organized and I want to make a planner. And what use case do you have for a planner? Well, I love making to-do lists. I have a to-do list right over here and it says smile, you're on camera. And maybe I can make something like this with my InDesign file. So maybe if I want to have like organized to-do list, I can do it within InDesign as well. So I have this layout already set up and it's very basic. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the document layout looks like. This is the document setup and it's essentially a print file, 40 pages, letter size, and that's it. That's literally it. There's nothing important in this file. There's no bleed right now. And I have also selected facing pages. And I'm going to click OK. So we have this guy right here, and we have some details. So what I'm gonna do, I am gonna go ahead and make like a cover page for this, but I'm gonna come back to the cover page because I want to cover the important things. I'm gonna come back to the cover because I'm gonna cover the important things. Okay. So let's go ahead and resize my calendar because I think it's really important to see like a whole yearly plan of the calendar inside your planner. So let's go ahead and so I created this little guy over here, which is just a resized version of the first month. And you can essentially lay it out in a way that you can see all the months of the year. And I'm gonna take a look at the chat just a second. Ryan says we'll have to watch the replay for the first half. Sounds useful. Hey, thanks. Yeah. And Ryan also asked if I keep a planner or do you journal. I actually do both. But I think my planner part is essentially very haphazard right now, which is why I came up with the idea of like having a planner of my own, just because it helps you keep your thoughts organized. In my journal, I do have the planning things. But yeah, I mean, I guess, you know how it works. Okay. So now this is super big for this size, and I can go ahead and resize it just by using the same thing that I was talking about earlier. I kind of don't like the center line in this case because I want it to be organized, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and click inside this guy and essentially decrease the size. So I'm gonna hold shift. Hold on, I was pressing command. I'm gonna hold shift and resize this like so, maybe a little bit more. And I am gonna come in here, maybe size it down just like a little bit again, and maybe change how this looks, right? Because this is super small, I'm just resizing it to fit my needs. Okay, and then it says Sunday, then we have Friday. Everybody knows what the days of the week are. You don't need to spell it out for them, right? So we have January. I can bring this up here again, align it, and then I can bring this guy here as well, which is essentially the frame for the table. And now it's resized. It's super small. And I'm gonna delete these two copies because I want it to be the same size as the one that I've resized right now. And using the same trick that we did earlier, I can essentially change the where the dates occur for every single month of the week. All right, so I'm gonna go in here and create another copy, which is something like this. Maybe I do this. There are 12 months, so that means 4 rows of three. And then I'm gonna bring this down. Simple math, you guys. And I'll bring this down, and then maybe something like so. Okay, And then I want to bring it a little bit further down because I need to make some copy on top, which is the title of the page, which essentially says that, hey, this is the calendar for 2023. So, this is how you can create like a single page calendar as well. That if you want, you can include at the last page of your calendar over here as well. So, I'm going to go to my pages panel really quickly and add last page. And this page will have only the calendar. So, I'm going to go in here and copy this layout, come back in here and paste it. So this is a little bit messed up because of the sizing, but essentially it's going to look like this. Okay, so you can essentially go ahead and I can actually take a screenshot and show you. So if I go ahead and take a screenshot, and once you resize everything, you can essentially have this as the last page of your table calendar, which will essentially show you every single month and you can mark the essential dates. And since you are making your own calendar over here, what you can do is mark your birthdays in here. And I know since Ryan is in the chat, I know Ryan's birthday is tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this as an important date for you all as well. So don't forget, Let's InDesign, 9th, 23rd, and 6th of February, and Ryan Selby's birthday on 10th of January. Totally embarrassing Ryan in here. All right, but we're inclusive. We include the chat and everything. So again, if you want to share your work with me, it's right up top at the opposite corner from me. You can share your work with me at Let's InDesign or Adobe Live. Both. Hashtag both of them. All right, let's see calendar 2023 here. And then maybe I want to change the size of this. So we have this. Maybe I want it to be like 30 points. And then I'm going to center it out. Okay. I can right align it just like so. Or maybe like left align. I think left align always works better. So left align it is. All right. So we have the first day of the planner, which is the calendar, and now I can move on to the second page of the planner. Now the second page is essentially having a like a weekly view, like a monthly view. Let's start with a monthly view. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and call this parent a monthly view, and I can essentially go ahead and create that for you all, and then you can go ahead and work on it again. So let's go ahead and go to my parent options right here and call it a monthly view. Okay, and I don't need to save this file because this is a cloud file, so that's fine. And then I can go ahead and create a monthly view. I think I want to apply this to this guy over here and this page to this 6, 8, and 9. And essentially, what I want to do is insert a table in here, and that's gonna have like the dates for the whole month. So I can either copy paste this guy from over here in January, or I can create a new table. Why don't I just demonstrate how you can create a new table for folks who have just joined in? So I'm going to go ahead and create a table. In this case, I think I'm going to span it to 2 pages over here instead of it just being on 1 page. So maybe I want like, let's say I do want five rows, okay? And then I want like 5 columns because maybe 2 of the columns are on the second page. And since this is a digital planner or maybe like a print planner, you can always customize your, right now I'm showing it to you for a digital way that you can use. I can also add hyperlinks into it, and if we don't get to it today, I can come up, if you guys really want it, I can come up with new additions to the calendar or your planner design and continue working on this on our next stream. I say that because Clever in the chat says, love the stream, can we do calendars every stream? Yes, we can. There's no rule against that. Okay, I'm gonna click OK, and then I can bring a style just like so. All right. And then since we do have some styles defined in it as well, I can go ahead and select these, call it days, and then I can go ahead and select these and call it dates. And that's going to automatically define the style for me. And I really don't have to do any of the work because I've already done the work once. That's the beauty of using InDesign, because you literally don't have to do any of the work once you've done it. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add another table which only has 2 columns for the rest of the days of the week. And then I can just drag it out like so. And let's give it dates over here. I'm sorry, this was days. And then I can go ahead and give it dates. And let's bring here. Oh, no, don't do it. Okay, dates. All right, cool. Um, Val says a to-do list for each day. Oh, that's cool. There's no rule until you do it 50 times and they make a rule. Yeah. There is no rule. I make all the rules here. But no, I wanted to bring this again, size it down to the same size. Size it down to the same size. No, size it down to the same size of the table on the left. That's approximately the same. And now you can add this, and you can maybe add like a column, like a to-do list on the right. So this is like a monthly view of, hold on, what's happening? Yeah, this is like a monthly view of every month. So what you can do is I can double click and make it like size of the frame. And since I am working on a parent page right now, this is a monthly view that you can add. You can add like a month name on top. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit so I can add it. And then I'm going to copy this from here. I don't actually want this on this page, so I'm going to delete that. Also don't want this on this page, so I'm going to delete that as well. And then I'm going to bring it here to my monthly view and bring this up top here. I can always change the positioning, but I can just say month name right here and just say month name, which we can add. And then we can just bring this over here, maybe something like so, and say notes. And that can be notes for the month. And then I can just use like a line segment in here and maybe add something like so. Okay, this doesn't have any stroke on it, so why don't we add like a stroke color? Maybe it's like a 1 point, maybe it's like a 0.25, point 0.5. Let's say it's a 0.5 stroke weight. I'm gonna zoom in just to show you how that looks. So this looks like this, and I think I want the same color, so I'm gonna select a different color over here. I think it was the blue, just to make consistency. Oh, that is not the blue. Okay, well, you can find the same color, right? And then you would just want to have the same consistent lines at equidistant from each other. So I'm just gonna copy paste this guy and then bring it here. And just like so, you have a space for your notes as well. And maybe I want it to be like a little aligned over here. And I'm gonna delete this guy and I'm gonna align it to the edge of the table. So we have something like so, and this is how it looks. So this can be your monthly view. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back. This is my calendar, and this becomes my monthly view. And I can go ahead in here and override these elements. So again, shift command and click. This is gonna be January. Okay, and then I'm gonna shift command and click and change the name of the month. And similarly, you can do it for all the months that you have in your thing. And that's how you can create a planner. This is just a start for you to know how easy it can be using Illustrator and for your assets, because I use Adobe Stock, which is an Illustrator file. So the calendar that I created, this is actually a vector version. And over here is essentially January, February, March, April, May, and then we have like a monthly view. So having a monthly view really helps you. For me personally, I really like to make my goals and give it like, hey, by the end of this quarter, I'm gonna only do it. I'm only gonna have 3 months to complete this, and I have the short-term goal that I want to do in the first quarter of the year. So having something like that in your planner can be super helpful, and having like a view that only gives you the month view and helps you plan ahead is really important, especially in this day and age of like short form content. I feel like we all struggle from that. So having something on your calendar, I know that most people only think about digital calendars, but having something written down as well reinforces that for me. All right. So we have this. Now, I think we can do one more. What time is it? We have about 5 minutes left. So maybe we can do one more thing. Maybe I can create like a view, which is essentially weeks of the month. So it can be like a week of the month view. I don't know what you call it, but we can create that. We can try to create that. So let's go ahead and create another parent page, and I'm gonna go to parent options, and then I'm gonna call it weekly view, for instance. Okay, I'm gonna call it weekly view. And then we can go ahead and create like a weekly view. So in this case, again, I can go ahead in here and bring it up top. I can press shift option command V to paste in place so that the alignment is perfect. I can say this is week 1 for January. So maybe I can have like an illustration in between to break out from the planner design and make it more interactive in a sense, and have like weeks of the month. So we have week 1, um and then I can create like a layout in here. So maybe I can reuse some of these lines in here, and then I'm going to bring it up closer. So we have week 1, and you can write in whatever you want to accomplish that particular week. Say you're reading a book, you can essentially add that in here. I'm going to delete some of these just because I feel like it would be too much for this layout. Maybe they want to be a little bit closer. But we have week one right over here, and you can maybe you can also like align it by days of the week. So we have week one, and I can make 7 of these so that I have something like so, and then I can bring it just like over here, and maybe I can group it as well so that it's easier for me to actually align it, and then I can just make copies of it. So I'm holding option and shift and dragging so that it's aligned, and as soon as I see that grid at the right, which is green in color, it's essentially showing me how far it is, and where we have six of these, right? Maybe I can just do Saturday and Sunday in one because I have less on my to-do list, right? I go out on Saturdays and Sundays, so we have just one note section. So Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm maybe gonna align it to this guy as well. Oh, didn't want to do that. I'm gonna align it over here, and then this can be Monday, okay, and then this can be Tuesday, and then I can change the style of this as well. So I can go in here and change the size. Right now it's 30 points, and I think I can probably use like a 14 points. I can use that. It's super tiny to see, but I can zoom in for you all to see. Love it. Clever in the chat says squeaky calendar squeezes in all your to-dos. Tada. Yeah. Yes. That was a tongue twister, clever. Let me tell you that. Okay, this is the month name monthly. This is a weekly view. Okay, this is a very big name, but that's fine. And then I can apply the same style to this guy as well. And then I have this right over here, and maybe I can just add this to all of the days of the week. So we have this guy, and then we have this guy. It does seem like it needs a little bit room to breathe, so maybe we can delete one of these lines from in here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and delete one of these lines from all of these groups, and I'm just double clicking inside the group, which is letting me delete and select that simple line. And then I can go ahead and change this as well. So we have Wednesday, make it sentence case, and we have Thursday right over here, and then we have Friday, and then this can be Sunday. I don't know, Sunday. I don't know. Okay, I just call it the weekend with a e at the end though. And we don't want any copyright strikes in here. So we have all of these, right? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. So this is how you can create a monthly view. So when you're done with like your January, maybe you can start January, February, March, April, May. I think I added it to all of them. But once you have covered all of the days of the month, we can actually go ahead and create like a weekly view in here and then add it to the same side. And it can be like a week one and week two sort of thing. So I can just copy this guy over here and then create something on over here. Let's see, center line it, and then I can just say week two, and then I can just create like a new parent and make it based on the monthly view. And this is week 3 and 4, and then I'm gonna click OK. And in this case, oh, I did something wrong. Based it on a different. I wanted to base it on the weekly view, and I based it on the monthly view. So I'm gonna go to weekly view, and then I can say week 3 4, click OK. And in this case I can go ahead and say week 3, and then I can go ahead and say week 4, and then I can apply it to this guy. So we have this right over here. So when I jump to page 20 and 21, we have week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, and that's your whole of January. So before that, maybe right over here you can use um an illustration to break off from your monotonous design. But that brings me to a close, you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know I covered a lot today, so if you missed anything during the stream, make sure to watch the replay both on YouTube and on Behance. And if I haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, it is right over here down below. I love to do this. And thank you, Voodoo Val, for modding today. And thank you all so much for watching and giving in your lovely comments. If you do create something using any of the tips that I covered today, make sure to tag Let's InDesign and Adobe Live and me on Instagram, Twitter, or wherever you are on the internet. Thank you so much. You can also send it on Discord, actually. I am on Discord. So make sure to send all of us all your work because I would love to see what you create. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next week on the 23rd for another Let's In Design show. Thanks for watching. Stick around for more content. We are going over to Twitch now, so go ahead to the Twitch channel on Adobe Live and have fun with some illustration streams. But bye for now, and have a good day.